Hello, my name is Myra Herrera, and for my issue topic, I'm going to discuss social media and academic libraries. Thank you. Below are some of the context that I will be talking about, including what social media is, how academic libraries are using social media, the positive effects of social media, the negative effects of social media, and the possible solutions, and what roles do directors play in social media and implementing policies. And finally, I will end with a question about social media and academic libraries. Social media. What, who, why? What is social media? Well, according to Oxford English Dictionary, social media are websites, applications which enable users to create, share content, or to participate with social networking. I also like what Stephen Bell says about social media, which he states, "It is a space where we connect with the members of the user community and have expanded beyond the walls of our domain." Which is really nicely put that social media cannot be self-contained. It is a wide range of communities. It is bigger than one library and bigger than one place. And I like that idea that social media keeps increasing in size. It's a really nice way of thinking about social media. Who is using social media? Well, as of 2016, Pew Center research reports that 77 online adults use some form of social media. Additionally, Facebook is still considered one of the most popular websites. Uh, in second place, it's blogs, and then it's Twitter. Third, why do some people use social media? A study conducted by Global Web Index lists 10 reasons why people use social media. Now, I won't list them all, but here are the top two: to stay in touch and to keep up with current events. And the final two are to meet new people and the last one is to research or find a product. These are the reasons why the general consensus likes going on social media. So who's using social media in academic libraries? According to Library Research Services, they reported that 76% of academic libraries have used some form of social media in 2012. An additional report in 2016 stated that 94% of American research libraries have a Facebook page. Some of the crucial reasons for academic libraries to use social media were to promote library services, market events, and community building. Additionally, some of the social media websites included Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Tumblr, blogs, YouTube, and so much more. So why do some academic libraries use social media? Well, most of the time because it's a free resources and it's one available to the public. Positives of using social media, marketing and promoting. I like to begin by reading this quote. "In order to stay relevant, academic libraries must market themselves and the values they represent, scholarly research and learning, to their audience, the university community." Some of the benefits of using marketing and promoting in social media are informing the patrons about library news, informing them about special collections and library service that might be new to the library itself. It also promotes and markets the relevancy of libraries and why we need these services. Libraries can also promote open access online journals and additional resources. They also can promote events, workshops, exhibitions, and facilities. The great thing about social media and the marketing technique is that you can use multifaceted websites like Twitter and Facebook in order to promote these services to the public. The positive side of social media, community building. Social media and community building may represent an untapped strength of social networking sites for libraries. These are some of the reasons why social media and community building are so important. They connect with students, they begin to understand students, faculty, and staff a little bit more. They use multi-social media websites, and they share information and interact with students. They do this by talking to them on Twitter or by talking to them on Facebook, by sharing content, by talking to them, by learning new ideas from their community. Positive side of social media, policies for academic libraries. The objective of this was to show how university libraries have been implementing social media, if they have any. I looked at 3 library social media policies. They are all state schools and they are all located on the West Coast. The first and second one I looked at were Oregon State University and California State University at St. Marcos, which relatively had similar guidelines of how to post for staff and what would be liked and what would be retweeted if they had Facebook or Twitter. They also had the same amount of social media tools. The last one I looked at was social media policies at Washington State University. This one had the most structured plan and definitely included what to look for and what to post. It had 3 individual sections: general guidelines for social media sites, institutional social media, and the best practices, again, for how to post, what contents to look out for. It had more social media too, so there's definitely a lot more to navigate through, including blogs, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. These are just some of the ways in which to implement social media in an academic sphere in a positive manner. The negatives of social media, concerns and possible solutions. The first concern, privacy. Students may feel like they don't want to interact with librarians because they fear privacy, and sometimes it kind of gives that feel of surveillance on the feed. Possible solutions. The librarians, students, and anyone else who's monitoring the social media websites must be cautious about what they retweet, what they like, and what they post, because users like to have their privacy. Obviously, it's a little difficult on social media. A good way of doing this is by setting up alerts for social media tags and possibly putting them in your info box and saying, we're tracking so-and-so tag. Number 2, limited access. Student workers might not have access to social media accounts, and staff might not know how to use that. This is very for the staff and the behind the scenes and how to access the account of these social medias, because the librarian might have all the access to that. I would suggest hire more workers if that's possible. Form committees to have student workers or interns only devoted to working on these social media sites, and the possibility of training people to know how to use these sites would also be a good idea. Negatives of using social media, concerns and possible solutions. Inactive accounts. Libraries have 2 problems with inactive accounts. 1, they either have an account and don't use them, or 2, they rarely update their account. So it could be anywhere from once a week to once a month to once every 6 months. Tips on how to keep your blog or social media account active. Find a direction that the social media platform can go in. Create a content plan or a strategic plan and follow it through. Assign those duties to different workers or staff members, and then evaluate the progress at the end of the year. This way you have some direction on what to focus on for your social media platform. Number 4, going out of style. Social media outlets are constantly changing, and therefore policies are constantly changing, and libraries might not feel the need to keep up with the current changes, especially if they're old school librarians who don't feel like social media is necessary within the libraries. And there also another thing is that they're using accounts that aren't garnering any feedback. Therefore, they're kind of useless space, so to speak. Tip number 4, plan for long-term goals. Keep up with the current changes and continue posting. Know when it's time to also move on from the social media website if it's not active as it once was. Directors and manager role. I would suggest that managers or directors support, encourage, and engage with social media and campaigns. They should also promote staff training on social media. That way everyone is on the same page. They should also try to create a committee that supports social media and academic libraries. They need to create a content plan and a strategic plan for implementation of social media sites. This would enable them to have more power over what they create, what they post, and who gets to post when. Ultimately, librarians need to determine what type of social media communication is effective with and useful to their key user group. Meaning they have to think about their audience, their community, the student body, and it goes back to community building. This is about the user, and what they post matters. And they need to figure out how to implement this tool and also feel like the community is backing them up. In conclusion, we have learned about the positives and the negatives about social media. Now, it's your turn to answer a question. If you were a manager or director of an academic library, how would you go about implementing a policy for social media? This has been my presentation. Thank you for tuning in.